It's MasterChef.
I don't think anyone wants this as much as I do.
Searching for Britain's best amateur cook.
I'm here for a place in semi-finals.
136 contestants who all believe they have undiscovered talent.
I just think, bring it on.
Whoever wins, it'll change their life.
Cooking doesn't get tougher than this.
It's quarter-final day, and the 5 heat winners are back.
Stewart, Roz, Druve are both quarterfinalists. Joe, Amy, you are both quarterfinalists.
They've returned to fight for a coveted place in the semi-finals.
There's absolutely no room for kind of small errors and mistakes.
I think the standards have to be raised today. The bar has been moved up. I desperately want a place in the semi-finals.
I'd say I've got a bit of fight in me. It's do or die, really. I want to come back and do some more.
I want to win it. Of course I want to win it. Just got to stay calm, see how far I can go.
I've never actually wanted anything as much, ever, in my entire life as I want to win this competition now.
These quarterfinalists need to show they can build on the good start that they've had. This is serious pressure.
If they want to make it through a quarterfinal, if they want to be a semi-finalist, they have to cook for their lives.
In this, the first of the tests, the 5 heat winners must show John and Greg they have both the skill and commitment to make it as a semi-finalist. After this, only the best cooks will go through.
We want our amateur cooks to succeed, so we're going to give them a choice. Either a fish recipe or a meat recipe. The fish recipe is homemade fish fingers and tartare sauce. There is a secret to fish fingers. You have to cut the fish against the grain, otherwise it will fall apart. And make a tartare sauce rich with capers, gherkins, and balanced well with parsley and lemon juice. Our meat recipe is a pan-fried pork chop and classic apple sauce. Overcook a piece of pork and it becomes dry and chalky. Undercook a piece of pork and it becomes like jelly. The apple sauce has to be sharp but also a little bit sweet so it goes well with the meat.
I like this test because it's about their base knowledge and their skills. They can't prepare and there's nowhere to hide.
First up is Sales Director Druve. After becoming a dad for the first time, he now wants to pursue a career in food. In the heats, he wowed the judges with some great cooking.
That cake is so full of all the flavours that I love.
But there have also been some basic errors.
All the flavours just get washed away by that watery spinach, unfortunately.
This means the world to me. It's the chance to have a dream job. It's a chance to turn my passion into my career.
We have for you either a fish recipe or a meat recipe.
I think I will try the fish recipe.
We are going to give you a maximum of 15 minutes to make for us fish fingers with tartare sauce.
Okay. I think I've got to show John and Greg that I'm worthy for a place in the semi-finals. I mean, I've ultimately got to show them I'm worthy of winning this competition.
Lovely crispness on the outside, the fish still translucent inside and soft but cooked and falling apart in flakes. It's very, very good indeed.
Thank you.
You have a perfect fish finger. Your tartar sauce is creamy yet still sharp.
Well, thank you.
Can you tell me, Druve, why it's important to you to go through?
I've got this dream of owning a small restaurant stroke pub with a bit of land and growing my own veg and herbs and fruit wherever possible. MasterChef is a step in that right direction to give me the opportunity towards having that dream of mine. I'm feeling fantastic. The comments couldn't have been any better, and I'm just absolutely delighted. When I allow myself to think where this could lead, I do get quite choked up, actually.
Next up is 28-year-old Roz, who dreams of owning her own cafe in Devon. She's shown real talent with her fusion-style food.
Like the filling, like the sauce. Good flavours that you would associate with Southeast Asia.
Thank you.
But sometimes she can overdo it.
The sweet scallop with the sharp passion fruit is a real treat. I don't like the salty samphire with it.
If I got through today, the cafe would it's almost tangible, you know, I can almost feel it.
A fish recipe or a meat recipe?
I think I'm gonna cook a meat recipe.
A perfectly pan-fried pork chop
Yep.
with apple sauce. You've had 10 minutes. Still got 5 if you want it.
No, I like my pork pinks.
It's a little bit under. Your apple sauce has really lovely flavour, but that pork chop needs more time and it needs to be seasoned.
Okay.
You had another 5 minutes. You could have left it in the pan.
Yeah, I know.
Well, tell me then what food means to you and tell me what MasterChef would mean to you.
Food means to me pretty much everything. And MasterChef is just so important to me because it's going to enable me, hopefully, to be able to share that with other people. I want people in Devon to know what people in Japan and Australia eat. I'm feeling quite deflated. I knew that I hadn't cooked the chop properly. I just feel a bit stupid because I make things like that all the time at home.
Mum of 3 Jo dreams of running her own country house hotel. In her heat, she proved she had a good palate.
Very unusual combination, but it works perfectly well.
But she doesn't always get it right.
I think the orange line on there is a mistake.
I'm not competitive, but here it's just brought out this competitive edge in me, and I'd be absolutely gutted if I went home today.
What would you like to cook?
Fish.
Let's go.
Okay.
Just calm yourself down. From what I thought was going to be a really flawed start, we've actually got 2 fish fingers on a plate. Your little fish fingers are breaking up because all they have on the outside of them is egg and breadcrumb. They need the flour around the outside first to mix with the egg and then your breadcrumb on the outside. But I'm pleased you persisted and I'm pleased that we actually got something on a plate.
Good. That's positive.
What I want to know right now is your passion for food.
I've decided that already from going in the professional kitchen. That's exactly where I want to be. It's what I want to do. I got a huge buzz from that. I didn't want to leave. And I just want to be up there. And I need all that knowledge to be able to get there. I eat so much fish, I cook so much fish. But if you can't blimmin' make a fish finger, yeah, there's not a lot of hope really.
Legal project manager Amy impressed in her heat with technical skill.
Your pasta is perfect and paper thin. I think it's very, very good.
But not everything went to plan.
I think it's looking more like underdone cake than actually the ooziness that needs to come from the fondant.
When I'm cooking, I do believe I'm in my element because I love how it brings joy to me and then brings joys to others. So I'd say I'm a very passionate cook.
Which one would you like to cook?
I'll take the fish. What I need to prove to John and Greg is how much this means to me. I believe doing well today could change my life.
Your fish cooked for a very, very long time. And it started to actually fall apart because of the way in which you cut the fish. You've got to cut it against the grain so that it holds in a block. They should be crispier, they shouldn't be falling apart, and your fish is overcooked.
Cooking to me is it's a passion. You know, I think about it before I go to bed. I wake up thinking about food. It's something that I want to turn into a career. I'm a little bit disappointed with how my fish fingers went. I'm wishing I could do that again right now, but, you know.
Last up is Glasgow-based Stewart, who wants to train with Michelin star chefs.
Lovely lamb, salty crust, absolutely lovely.
But he can add too many elements to his dishes.
Once you hit the orange segment with that sea bass, the fish can't be found anywhere.
I would rather at least try and fail than to kind of just accept safety and defeat. I'd hate to come here and think, well, I could have pushed the boat out and maybe won. I'm going to go with the fish.
Let's go. Nice crispy coating around the outside of the fish, well seasoned, well thought about. I quite like what you've done.
You have a crispy outside and you have soft fish inside. I think you should be quite pleased with yourself.
Thanks.
Could you tell me, please, what MasterChef would mean to you?
Every time I'm not working, I'm basically in the kitchen. It's got beyond just a hobby. And it would be great if I could have a profession where I actually really loved it. That'd be it for me. I feel okay. It didn't go too badly. It's not something I've made that often before, or I think ever, fish fingers.
I thought that was a great exercise, actually. From a judge's point of view, I thought that was really good. It shows what their basic skills are like.
We're going to make a decision.
There was one person here who just really stood out, who really had a fantastic round, and that is Druve.
Lovely little fish fingers, good tartare sauce, and presented beautifully. Knew exactly what he was doing. Druve stays, that's for sure.
I like Stewart.
Well, Stewart did very, very well. His big fish fingers, crispy on the outside, nice little tartare sauce. Yeah, not bad.
So Stewart stays and so does Druve. Jo is really passionate about food, that's obvious.
But she fumbled right from the start, was not confident in what she was doing.
She did crumble under the pressure.
Amy, in my mind, for what she did, was just not right. The fish was overcooked, cut with the grain rather than against the grain. For me, a lot of mistakes from Amy.
Roz made a really nice apple sauce, sharp, with a little bit of sweetness, but she didn't cook her pork for long enough. Neither did she season it.
We can only take the best cooks through.
Who has got what it takes?
Tough decision. And one of you is leaving us. The person leaving us is Amy.
I'm feeling kind of, well, sad really. I'm going to be reliving the fish fingers for a long time to come, I think.
Well done. Ladies and gentlemen, one semi-final place up for grabs. You have to cook like you've never cooked before. You have 1 hour and you're going to cook just one dish. Let's cook.
With only one dish to secure a place in the semi-finals, these four now have to cook to perfection.
How are you feeling right now, Joe?
I feel good. I feel really pleased to be here. I thought I'd totally blown it on those fish fingers big time. I was working my journey home and everything.
Joe, what are you going to cook for us?
Pigeon breast on a potato rosti with a juniper berry, Madeira and beetroot sauce. It's quite simple ingredients, but simple ingredients can taste fantastic. And I want you to think, wow, I want to eat that.
Joe's pigeon on rosti with Madeira sauce is something I would most certainly order in a restaurant. But that rosti needs to be crisp with a sauce on it. Will it be soggy and awful and damp?
I'm doing a pan-roasted duck breast fillet with pickled carrot puree and a spiced plum sauce. It's quite a difficult dish, but when it's done well, it's one of my favourites.
We are talking presently about 20 different herbs and spices. Now, that is a gifted cook who can balance all those. Why are you taking such a risk at this stage?
I deliberated sort of long and hard about it, and I think now's the time that's come for me to do something that's really going to impress you and give you no hesitation or doubt to put me through.
Druve has measured up the competition and the guy is going all guns blazing. 20 herbs and spices. Does he have the talent to balance that many flavours? What on earth is it going to taste like?
You've had 25 minutes. We're nearly halfway.
Ros, what are you cooking for us today?
A kind of take on sashimi tuna with a lemongrass pesto cooking broth. You can cook the tuna some more in the broth if you want to, or just eat it as it is. I've made this dish a lot of times, and I've had mistakes with the chilli before, so I think I've got it to a level now where the flavours just really complement each other.
Ross is staying with her experimental Asian flavours. She's got Japanese tuna, Vietnamese pickled vegetables and Korean broth. Wow, can she make those three big cultural flavours come together in harmony?
Stewart, what are you going to cook for us?
Some John Torode with potato rosti, cabbage, bacon and peas, and butter and tarragon sauce. I'm taking something which is quite a simple concept, but I've refined it so that it's not rustic.
How far do you want to go in your culinary life?
I think I need to learn at the top level, but I think cooking good food, keeping it consistent all the time, is where I need to be.
John Torode crispy rosti, peas and cabbage, and then mushrooms and a tarragon butter sauce. There is so much going on that plate, it's in danger of tipping over the edge.
You've got under 4 minutes.
That's it, time's up. Time's up. Step away, time's up.
Glasgow-based Stewart has made John Dory on a potato rosti with cabbage, mushrooms, peas and pancetta, but he hasn't served his tarragon beurre blanc sauce.
Stewart, you okay?
No, it was a disaster, really. The sauce split. The rosti was looking fantastic at one point and it went over. It was generally about as bad as I've cooked.
I'm disappointed for you. The rosti is burnt. The fish is too firm. It's a shame because there is a foundation of a beautiful dish there, Stewart. I'm sorry for you.
That little pile that's sitting underneath that fish is really delicious. But you know, there are so many mistakes on here, it's very difficult to say much more.
I'm absolutely gutted. Gutted.
New dad Druve is hoping he's got the balance right with his pan-roasted duck breast, pickled carrot puree, pilau rice and spiced plum sauce.
It looks beautiful, it tastes beautiful. Perfectly cooked duck, really lovely sweet plum against the sweet carrot, all those little bits of black cardamom and cumin, and a little bit of sourness and sharpness to take the whole thing off. It is very, very, very good indeed. Druve, do you think your rice is cooked properly?
Nope.
If there is fault to be found, Druve, your rice is undercooked.
I taste hundreds of plates of food. Rarely do I taste something as complex, yet as elegant.
Thank you.
Mum of three Jo has made pigeon breast with potato rosti, buttered cabbage, beetroot and a Madeira and juniper berry sauce.
Your pigeon is cooked perfectly and it goes beautifully with your sweet sauce. But then it gets soaked up by this fried rosti. Yeah. So all the work of pan frying something, making it lovely, crispy potato cake, becomes this soggy cake.
The iron richness of that pigeon with that sweetness, that Madeira sauce is lovely. More earthy sweetness with the beetroot. I love that. I absolutely love the flavours there.
Has fusion cook Roz successfully blended 3 different cultures with her sashimi tuna on carrot and bean sprout salad and a lemongrass and pesto cooking broth.
The flavours are extraordinary. The lemongrass is strong and pungent in there and very, very citrusy, and then a little bit of iron richness that comes from your tuna soaked in soy sauce. I like it. I like it a lot, but I would love a lot more spice, chili heat.
I like your food. It's different food, it's exciting food.
Well done, guys.
I'm so impressed with these 4. Really, really impressed. I've had such a lovely time tasting.
The style of the food today, the skills shown, was seriously impressive.
It has to be said, Stewart did make loads of mistakes, which is a real shame, because he had designed a championship dish. He really had.
Unfortunately, the fish was overcooked, we didn't get a sauce that was promised, and the rosti that ended up on the plate was burnt.
At this level, you've got to deliver.
Stuart's gone.
It was just, I couldn't stay focused. I started thinking too much about the competition and thinking too much about if I could win it or not.
Leaves us 3 people to talk about. 3 very, very good cooks.
I tell you what, Druve is so impressive. I mean, the dish looked fantastic. And those flavours, John.
The idea of balancing sweet plum, pickled carrot, duck and rice, adding to that 20 different herbs and spices and everything to just come along in harmony, I think is a real feat.
Never in my wildest dreams had I allowed myself to think that the comments could have been that good. I mean, they completely shocked me.
But there'll be one thing that Druve will be kicking himself about today, and that is not cooking his rice properly.
I really like Rosie's food. It looks elegant, it looks stylish, there are great flavours going on there.
Ros is a truly inventive cook who is able to deliver what I call proper fusion food. That broth, the depth from the lemongrass, the richness of the coriander, and a little hint of chilli. Not enough chilli, and it needed that heat to just take it up one more level.
I am really, really proud of the fact that I cooked it how I wanted to cook it and that they liked it. So that was, yeah, excellent. I'm really proud of myself.
For me, Jo had a lot to prove after her fish fingers today, and she did prove it.
That pigeon was cooked to perfection, and that Madeira sauce, I just loved it.
The issue for me was the texture of that rosti. It soaked up all the sauce, but still very, very good cooking.
I'm desperate now to go through, and I don't think I'll feel satisfied and totally happy in myself until I have won it.
Today, the food that's been cooked in this room is fantastic.
How do you choose one winner when you've just had delicious dish after delicious dish after delicious dish? How do you choose from that?
Our semi-finalist is Druve.
Obviously I'm gutted, but the dream's always going to be there of having a little cafe and you know, just being able to share my food with people.
I am disappointed. I just don't think I prepared enough, and it wasn't my day.
I didn't want the journey to end, but it's given me the direction that I needed to go on to have a career in cooking.
Monkey?
Yes.
Hello there.
Hi.
I'm through. It's just waves and waves of just amazing emotion. Thank you.
Congratulations, semi-finalist.
Thank you very, very much. It just means the absolute world to me. I've always wanted to go all the way, and now I believe I can.